Romans 8:18. Let me zoom in for you. It says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Ephesians 4:1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. Call all Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Call all Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. So Brother Kashakwala coming back at you with another lesson through the Spirit. I just read. I wanted to start off with those. Okay, those are two epistles that Paul wrote. Okay, and those are two things that he said. And the reason why I want to bring these out first is because why did Paul go so hard? And you got to ask yourself, like, why aren't you going as hard? I'm not saying no one is going hard or anything, but it's like you got to look at yourself. If you claim to believe, in the truth, and you read Paul's epistles and things of that nature, and you see how hard he went, what are you doing? Are you really taking in Paul's writings? Or are you just like wanting just to know them? You see what I'm saying? There's a difference between just knowing them and actually taking them in and living and walking in it. You know what I'm saying? This is 1 Corinthians 11:1. Be followers of me, okay? Even as I am also, Salakia, be followers of me, even as I also am of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Right, okay? Paul went hard. I want to get into the reasons why he went so hard. And just I want to, exhort and make brothers reflect on, are you doing the best you can? You see what I'm saying? And being a follower of the words of Paul's epistles in in Yahweh Shai, of course. You see? So, why did Paul go hard? Okay, let's see. I'm going to bring out one example of why Paul went so hard. And the Spirit has it to where I've just been in the book of Acts a lot lately. And just reading about Paul. And reading about the journeys that the apostles and the disciples and the deacons that were around them were going through. But I want to get focused here on Paul and why he was so adamant. He was so gung-ho, you could say, about being in this truth, about pushing Yahweh Shai. All right. So I want to read about Stephen's death. Okay. Or more so how Stephen got to live again. You see what I'm saying? This is Acts chapter 7:51. So we're going to start where Stephen is just, cutting them. Because you could read all the way from 7:1, Acts 7:1, read all the way down to verse 50. And he was just going through all these accounts. Bringing out all these accounts. Starting all the way from Abraham, going all the way to Solomon. You know what I'm saying? And Moses. No, I think he went all the way to Moses. No, he went to Solomon. And then he brought all those accounts out and then hit him with this. Acts 7:51. Ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears. You do always resist the Holy Spirit. As your fathers did, so do ye. And he said that from the accounts that he had brought out. So the Lord has always been working with us, but there's always been niggas in the midst of it. And y'all some niggas right now. Wake up. It's the same thing we do on the highways and byways. That's what Stephen was doing. He was cutting them. Deep inside, man. Just like cutting them to the heart. Hebrews 4, what is that? Hebrews 4:11 was really hitting home right here. Verse 52. Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? Ooh. He's like, man, you've been prosecuting prophets since the jump, man. Since the very jump. It says, and they have slain them which showed before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers. It's like y'all have been persecuted prophets, y'all persecuted the ones who were preaching about the one who is to come, and y'all persecuted the one who was here. Yahweh Shai. It says, verse 53, who have received the law by the disposition of the angels and have not kept it, right? Verse 54, so they hated that. Verse 54, when they heard these things, they were cut to the heart and they gnashed their, I say it like that because you got to kind of picture them, and they gnashed on him with their teeth. But he, being full of the Holy Spirit, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of the Most High and Yahweh Shai standing on the right hand of the Most High. Now I'm getting to the point where why Paul went so hard in the scripts. I'm talking about Paul went hard, bro. All right. So it says, verse 56, it said, behold, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of the Most High. All right. So, hey, man, Stephen was in the spirit, man. Stephen was in the spirit. He didn't care if people were coming up against him. He's like, man, I'm in the spirit. I see the Most High and the Son standing. All right. Because sometimes you read the scripts and you see that Yahweh Shai sits on the right hand side. No, this time he was standing. And I envision it like I'm putting myself in Stephen's shoes, having some empathetic, type deal within myself with Stephen, okay? And putting myself in his shoes and thinking about like when he was looking up into the heavens and saw that, you know what I'm saying? Actually saw Yahweh Shai, actually saw Yahweh, right? You can almost imagine it, how Yahweh Shai may have been looking back at him. Like, like I always imagined it as, how Jake do, like, yeah, man. And they put a fist up to their chest and kind of beat their chest, like softly, like, yeah, man, you a road dog, bro. I can almost imagine Yahweh Shai looking at him like that, like, yo, hey, you doing this till death. I commend you, bro. Come on up into paradise. Let's be happy. And that's how I can kind of see it. Because that's how, when you read this, he was so calm just to do that. And he's probably seeing the approval from Yahweh Shai. You see what I'm saying? You're probably seeing the approval from Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. You see? You got to just envision it. So verse 56, and it says, behold, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of the Most High. And they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears like, man, fuck this dude, man. I don't care what he got to say. And ran upon him with one accord and cast him out of the city and stoned him. All right. And they stoned him. Yet he's still looking up, seeing his vision. Right. And the witness laid down their cloths at a young man's feet. Now we're going to get into Paul, whose name was Saul. Okay. His name was Saul at first, and the Lord changed it to Paul when you read the 9th chapter. It says, and they stoned Stephen. So we're going to come back to verse 58. So, and they stoned Stephen, calling upon the Most High and saying, Lord, Yahweh Shai, receive my spirit. You see that? Stephen was in the spirit the whole time. And it goes to show you, even through death, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is still with you. Who's to say Stephen felt any of them stones and just gave the spirit up peacefully? That's Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter. Man, this account is heavy. So verse 60, it says, and he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge. All right? Because what? The Spirit had it on him. There's some elect in that crowd. And guess what? Who was in that crowd? Paul. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. You see that? He fell asleep. It didn't say he died. It didn't say he, he fell asleep. Usually when someone falls asleep, just thinking of it in more of a carnal, you fall asleep, you go to sleep peacefully. Stephen fell asleep. He passed on and made that transition peacefully, even though it looked gruesome in the eye. Who's to say he felt any of them stones? He was in the spirit. Who's to say he felt any of it? It was just his time. His number was called. And you look at that Isaiah 57:1, you look at that and it's like, you know what? He was too good for this place. The Lord required that spirit. You see? Stephen back right now going hard, I bet. Because Stephen, when you read about him in Acts the 6th chapter, what was he? He was a man filled with the Holy Spirit, man. Matter of fact, I'm just going to get that and we're going to get back on track. All right? It says Acts 6:5, and the saying pleased the whole multitude, and they chose Stephen, a man full of faith and of the Holy Spirit. You see that? All right? So let's go back to the point at hand, verse 58. Acts 7:58. And cast him out of the city, who, Stephen, and stoned him. Now, of course, the scripts always have like a little side piece, like a side bit that makes you like, why was it written in there? What? Okay, what does I got to do? All right, who was this Saul guy? It says, and the witness laid down their clothes at a young man's feet, whose name was Saul. Exactly. So let's go into chapter 8 real quick. Verse 1. It says, and Saul was consenting unto his death. Whose death? Stephen's. All right. There's the word consenting real quick in etymology.com. I mean, Slovakia. That's the spirit. In the blue letter. All right. It's Son Yodokio, if I'm saying that right. Let's see what Esau say.
Strong's G 4909
Sunodakeo, and it means to be pleased together with, to approve together, to be pleased at the same time with, consent, agree to applaud. All right. Yes. Paul was agreeing and consenting to Stephen's death. Because at the same time, Paul was persecuted the church. He writes about it in his other epistles. And at the time, there was a great persecution against the church, which was at Jerusalem. You got to remember, Paul was a Pharisee. And they were scattered abroad throughout the regions of Judea and Samaria, except the apostles. Okay? So think about that. Why Paul went so hard. He consented to a man of the Lord's death, man. He agreed on it. You saw it. You saw the definition. It even means to applaud. And they laid the clothes down at his feet. He was there when Stephen was stoned, when he was killed, murdered in broad daylight by some 2/3 wicked ass jakes, man. But Stephen said, man, don't let this sin fall upon him. Who? A man of the Lord who was in that crowd. He just didn't get the truth yet. The truth of who? Yahweh Shai. Until the 9th chapter. Then guess what? Paul started going hard. Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Why does Paul say this? Man suffered shipwreck, got bitten by a viper, robbed by his own countrymen. You can read it all in Corinthians. I'm just naming it for the sake of time. All these things, man went through it. Stoned to death. Came back alive. Got put in prison. Got beaten. All these things, going hard, did not care what he went through when he got Yahweh Shai's name and got the truth of Yahweh Shai. And the Spirit rested upon him. Right? He went hard. Why? Because he knew the things he was doing was worthy of death, man. When he was persecuting the church. He had the Spirit. I got to make up for this. I fucked up. And you got to think about it. I'm just going to say me personally. Been in this thing for some years now. Right? All them years prior. I got to make up for it. Fuck am I doing? I think there's some shit that was worthy of death, man. Shit, brothers have done some, and to me, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, but whoever it applies to, shit, you done some things worthy of death while being in the truth. Some things that you can't even help. Just you coming into the truth, you just now finding out certain things. Oh, shit. You see why Paul went hard, but this man actually persecuted the church. He went hard. So it's like the question you got to ask yourself, if I'm really reading about 1 Corinthians 11:1, am I really trying to follow? Am I really trying to follow Paul? Am I really trying to do the things I need to do to get the hell up out of here, to be forgiven of my sins, so the Lord can have mercy on me? Am I really worthy to be shown mercy? What are you doing? What are you doing? I know Paul went hard because I read his accounts. I read his epistles. I read the fervent spirit he had, man. You read it. Are you doing the same thing? All right. Ephesians 4:1. And the thing is, I'm not going to stop at 1. I'm going to read it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read it through. Ephesians 4:1. I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you were called, with all lowliness and meekness and long suffering and forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called in the hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one power, and the Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. You see that? But he called himself the prisoner of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai because he knew he had to make up for what he was doing and what he had did. It's the same thing you got to think about in your life. You got to make up for all that fuck shit you been doing when you was being a pure nigga. Let's be real, okay? You got to make up for it. In the short time that you got, go read the book of Baruch. Seek him 10 times more, man. That's why he got you this truth in the youth. Some men have got this truth when they're 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. There's a reason why the Lord wanted to give them that. Because they got to make up for it. And the time is running short. You got to make up. You got to make up for that time that you have missed. Going off the whole time. And you're still going off. But you got to go put in that work. Do your videos. Link up with your bros. And it says what? Forbearing one another. Yes, there may be some things that brothers do to get on your last nerves, but fuck it. Are you gonna let that be the stumbling block in front of you and showing your brother love? Man, you better get over that shit. It says with lowliness and meekness. Paul was humble, man. He was like, man, I know I done fucked up, but I gotta make this up. I don't care who comes in my way. I got to make this up. This is my path, and I'm trying to seek forgiveness from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai because I know I messed up. Shoot, the Lord Yahushai told him straight up, why thou persecutest me? What are you doing? Why are you kicking against the pricks? The Lord personally had to go and tell him that. Going hard. You got to go hard in this thing, man. You know, I just wanted to come with that quick lesson and just come with just a base understanding of why Paul went so hard in this truth, man. Paul wasn't playing no games, and neither should you, because this ain't no game. Sit back, reflect on yourself, and see, am I doing the best I can? Can I do more? And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. But if your answer is no, which real talk, all answers should be no. You can never do too much. Then get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to work, Akim. Man, let's get on the chariot. But show the Lord that you want to get on the chariot. Show him that you want the mercy, man. Man, call all Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 First Fruit. Brother Kasha Qual from the GMS Atlanta Church. Until next time, I'm going to say Shalom.